Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com. You know, every so often recordings come along out of like nowhere, out of left field, and you can't find any sort of justification for their existence, but here they are. This is one of them. On MD&G, Mahler 9 with the State Symphony Orchestra of Russia, also known as the Svetlanov Symphony Orchestra, under Mark Gorenstein, conductor. Now, this was recorded live in the Great Hall of Moscow Conservatory on February 20th, 2010. And why? Who got a hold of this? What's going on? I don't get it. I don't get it. It is a weird performance. I mean, is it terrible? No. And sometimes it's interesting hearing like orchestras that are not associated with certain repertoire play that repertoire because they do bring a different angle to it. Sometimes it's good and sometimes it's bad. Here, the weird thing about this performance particularly is that, first of all, it's 95 minutes long. So it's like they're sight reading the bloody thing. The finale, particularly 31 minutes and 55 seconds for that final adagio. The one that Bruno Walter got through in like 22 minutes, 23 minutes. I mean, yes, you can take it very slowly. You can. Here it's actually longer than the first movement, which is almost unheard of. And the first movement is not fast. The first movement is half an hour, 30 minutes and 7 seconds. It is an odd performance. From the tempo point of view, it is interminable. That finale is really, really hard to get through. But so is the whole symphony. So how does it begin? Well, what are the problems? The problems are, first of all, the brass playing. The brass playing is incredibly dynamically insensitive, and the horns, particularly, seem to come and go. I mean, when they go, they're gone. I mean, they're almost not there, especially in the first movement and finale. The inner movements sound almost like they come from a different performance, but the horn parts, which are critical, because you know the whole thing is this vast contrapuntal web, and they often have the melodic line. I mean, they're just not there, and so the texture, for that reason alone, sounds very, very strange in the first movement. The climaxes never come together. The huge collapse in the first movement, it doesn't really collapse. I mean, it seems to get quieter as it goes, rather than getting like louder and more threatening and more exciting and more powerful. It's a nothing. And that's true of all the climaxes in the symphony, actually. It's the same thing in the finale, where you've got, I mean, the horns have to be glorious, you know, at that big, huge climax. And they aren't, first of all. And second of all, it's so slow that the orchestra just can't sustain it at that tempo. So that's, you know, when the two most important major moments in the symphony go for nothing, then the rest of it's going to have issues. I mean, as you can tell, the first scherzo, you know, you've got this clunky waltz that is supposed to accelerate each time we hear it. It doesn't. It really doesn't. And the last time where it really is supposed to get whipped up, he waits, Gorenstein, however you pronounce it, until after the, you know, big moment. Da 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 ba ba bom da 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 ba da 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 da. You know, he just lurches forward instead of making this seamless transition or accelerando, so that by the time you get to the end of it, you're really whirling along, and it's been gradually getting there. There's none of that subtlety at all. I mean, you know, if it had been done in a studio, they could have corrected these things, but this is a one-off live performance. You're stuck with what they get. The audience is quiet, though. But after 17 minutes and 45 seconds of the second movement, we have a 15-minute rondo burlesque, and the burlesque is not very burl. It's heavy-handed, it's clunky, it never really goes anywhere. Again, there's all these issues with balance and dynamics that are just they're just mistakes. Basically, it's not like they're missing the notes; they're not, but but the but the proportions are off, and it's just so clunky sounding. So then, of course, I mentioned the finale, which is interminable. This is the kind of thing that I don't know. It's like somebody drove up to the offices of MD&G and said, "Hey, come here, here. I got a tape here. Come here, take this, issue it." It's like open the coat. With the cloak and dagger stuff. Why? What on earth does this label need this performance for? And what is there about it other than its wrongheadedness that makes it even passingly interesting? I mean, we've talked about it's fun to listen to bad performances or wrong performances. This isn't bad enough to be like party record material. It really isn't. It's just not good. That kind of bad. It's bad enough that it shouldn't exist to be perpetuated on in electronic media. That's what it really boils down to. So, it's a puzzlement how these things turn up and why they turn up and what's supposed to happen when they turn up. But it did, so it's a turnip. Bury it somewhere. Yeah, really, really strange. Absolutely strange and totally, completely, and wholly unnecessary. So keep on listening, friends, but not to 94 or 95 minutes of that. Weird, just weird. Take care.